Yes, yes, yes! And I'm calling it the Nonary Game! Evidence Edition!
Wait, I just realized something.
What's that?
When we were looking at the security footage earlier, we were just looking for live feeds. We were trying to figure out where the others are, what they were up to, if they were alive, and so on. But we totally forgot that security systems like this can do more than show you live footage. Are you following me?
Yeah! You're talking about stuff that's been recorded, right? Footage of the past. If they store that, we might be able to see it.
Yeah. I don't know how much luck we'll have, but it's worth a shot.
Definitely. What do we do?
Leave that to me.
You know how to use this thing?
Well, it was designed so that a human could operate it. That means there's a logic to how it's set up. A computer computes, a calculator calculates, and an automobile mobiles. Everything's designed to do something. And once you know what, you can start guessing how. Once you start to figure out how to get it to do things, it's just a question of playing with it until it does the things you want it to. See?
Monitoring video data. Looks like this is it. Good work.
Knock it off. Makes it sound like you're better than me or something.
Wait, what the heck is this? Everything says no data.
Let's check the log. Damn it. This isn't good. Looks like all the video data was removed before we got here.
By 0?
That would be my guess. All it says here is administrator.
Damn, well, that's a little frustrating. That footage could have told us a lot.
Yeah, it might have given us what we need to figure out who the killer is, too. The camera in room 2 in the crew quarters would have recorded what happened to Alice and Luna. Same for the old woman in the warehouse. And if there was a recording of us being carried into the AB rooms, we could have even figured out who Zero Senior is.
So of course it was deleted. Hey, what's this?
Want to open it?
Yeah?
It says Golem status.
That should be the system logs of those robots. I told you about them in the pantry, remember?
Yeah. You mean the room full of robots on the other side of the green door?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Shoot. Everything's been erased too.
Looks like it.
I guess there isn't anything we can... Wait a second.
What is it?
There's a scroll bar. Try scrolling. I knew it! That golem we met is still functional.
What do you mean? I thought you told me Golem, or whatever his name was, started spitting smoke and keeled over.
Yeah, but he said that what passes for a golem's brain, I guess, was in the main computer. Once his body was disabled, his brain is probably still functioning. Can we see his logs?
Already on it. Here you are.
Then... try the other one that says cache. These file names all just seem like random characters. Whatever. Just pick one and open it, I guess.
Sure.
Why would you not start with the first one? Yeah, that's what I thought. This is probably from right after K decked us. We'll be tossing that white door on the left in a minute. Just watch. See?
Interesting. This is the footage the Golem pulled from the main server. The original data was deleted, but it looks like the stuff he pulled is still here.
Exactly.
So, if we go back through these files...
Yeah, we might be able to figure out who the killer is. Maybe even who Senior Zero is. Senior Zero.
Nice. Great work, Sigma.
Come on, I told you I don't need you kissing my ass. Besides, it's not like I really did anything. We started going through the rest of the files. The security footage showed Kay and Dio clearly passing through the white door on the far right.
Good. Looks like they're both fine.
That just leaves Tenmyoji, Clover, and Quark. I opened my mouth to continue, and then it happened. My vision suddenly blurred, and shaking my head did nothing to clear it. I staggered, my balance gone. What? Why is she talking like that? She sounds like someone's playing a tape of her voice all sped up. What's going on here? I can't understand what she's saying. I Now, why is she moving so fast? It's like watching a video on fast forward. What the hell is... Wait, could it be me? Maybe my brain is slowing down somehow. So it just looks like everything is speeding up. I still couldn't make out what she was saying, so I just nodded weakly. My eyes drifted sud as I tried to sort out what was happening to me. I woke up several minutes later. When I opened my eyes, the first thing I saw was the ceiling of the security office. I sat up slowly, rubbing tenderly at my head. Fi, who had been sitting in front of one of the monitors, stood up and walked over as soon as she heard me move.
You okay?
Her voice sounded normal again, and she wasn't moving strangely either. Whatever had been happening seemed to have stopped. I let out a quiet sigh of relief. Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
You sure? That's
Yeah.
good. You really looked like you'd lost it for a minute there.
Well, I seem to have found it again. This is the security office. Maybe they've got it lost and
Your
found.
sanity's pretty easy to miss. I'm surprised anyone found it, let alone turned it in. Well, looks like I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, I think I might just be getting tired. Kinda surprised it didn't catch up to me
I
sooner.
hope that's all it is. You haven't caught a disease or something, have you?
For just a moment, I thought of Radical 6, but I didn't want to worry Fi if I didn't have to. Better to stay quiet about it.
Well, you're looking a lot better, so I can stop worrying, right?
What are you, my mom?
Fine. No more check-ins. Anyway, I figured something out while you were resting. Come have a look at this.
What is it?
Footage from room 2 in the crew quarters. The room where we found Alice and Luna. I dug it out of Gollum's cache.
When was this recorded?
See you in a minute.
Up there on the right. That looks like some sort of time code.
Can you figure it out?
No, it's just a bunch of numbers. I can't make heads or tails of it.
Yeah. The central server seems to be using its own time system. Files appear to be named based on that system. They might as well be random to you and me, which made it pretty hard to find this gem.
Huh? Oh, it's K.
Yeah.
He looks at his bracelet here. Probably checking how much time is
I'll
left.
just pause that and magnify it.
Enhance! 21 minutes. So that means this footage is from 21 minutes before the primary doors open, right?
Exactly.
And that would have been the white doors in this case, right?
Yes. After Kay leaves this room, it's about 2 minutes before he comes back with you and me.
There were 20 minutes on the clock when we met up with him, right? So that means what we're seeing here is K 1 minute before he saw
Right.
us. That means this is right after he tried to resuscitate Luna.
Yeah, if you believe him. The footage here doesn't show any of that.
Are there any other angles?
I looked around, but I couldn't find one. The only stuff left is shot from this position. Even so, I think we've gotten our hands on something important.
You mean that this is a record of what happened right around the time of Luna's death, right?
Exactly. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. I'll move back to the start of this file so we can see it in chronological order. Let's say this is 0 hours, 0 minutes. After all, it's not like we know what time it actually is.
Right.
So, this is the start of our footage.
There's no one here.
Yeah, about a minute goes by before anyone shows up.
Wait. How do you know it's been a minute?
This.
Oh, that's the hourglass we used earlier.
Yeah, if I play it back at normal speed, I can measure time using this hourglass. Then I just add the time from the hourglass, and that's how far in we are.
Huh. Oh, someone's coming in. Luna, is that Clover behind her?
Yeah, this is 0 hours, 1 minute. Right now you and I are talking to Dio in the Floor B warehouse. With the time frame we've established, calculating what we're doing is pretty easy.
What's going on? Are they fighting? No, it's not really a fight. It looks like Clover's just going off on Luna. Luna's just staying silent and listening to her.
Yeah.
Can we hear them? Is there an audio
Wanna
track?
listen to it?
The hell is this?
Don't know. The audio data must have been transcoded into something else.
Well, we won't be able to understand anything in that.
Seen enough? I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Clover's interrogation goes on for a while, but it's all pretty much the same thing. Now, at 0 hours 10 minutes, things suddenly change. Here.
Hey, they're gone. As I watched, Clover moved steadily closer to Luna, who backed away almost as if she were frightened. Clover continued her advance until she disappeared below the bottom edge of the screen. Is there another? Oh, no, you said this was it.
Yeah, this is the only one that I found. Shouldn't be too hard to guess what happened after you've seen the next part, though.
Clover laughed. She looked like she was kind of panicking.
Yeah, this is about 1 minute and 40 seconds after they both left the frame. So 0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds.
Only Clover left. Luna's still in the room. That means...
Hold on. Wait until you've seen the whole thing before you start deducing. At 0 hours, 12 minutes, another person comes in, just missing her.
Dio. He disappeared too, down below the bottom of the frame. What's he up to?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that whatever it was, he doesn't want us to know about it. Remember what he said when you asked him about Quark?
How the fuck would I know? I've been here.
You're saying he was lying. He wasn't in the Floor B warehouse the whole time. He went to the crew quarters after we left him.
Yeah. So what would have been important enough for him to lie about it? We should consider that it might have been something bad.
And whatever it was, it happened during this time.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, now he's left. And it looks like he left in a hurry.
Maybe he heard a noise.
Like what?
The cyan door opening? Now, 10 seconds after Dio leaves, a fourth person shows up. That brings us to 0 hours, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
It's Kay. When he heard Kay open the cyan door, he panicked. Whatever he was up to, he didn't want Kay to catch him at it.
And then Kay disappears too.
Yeah, below the bottom of the frame, just like the others.
If Kay was telling the truth, this is where he begins to try and resuscitate Luna. Anyway, nothing happens for the next 16 minutes. It's just this. So I'll fast forward, alright?
Sure.
Alright, should be around here. One sec. Okay, you should see something you recognize in a minute here.
There's Kay coming in from the bottom of the frame, and he's checking the time on his bracelet. So we come full circle, huh?
Yeah. We're back to 21 minutes before the primary doors open. For our arbitrary time code, that's 0 hours and 29 minutes. 1 minute later, at 0 hours 30 minutes, Kay heads to the Floor A warehouse.
Once he gets there, he'll tell us about Luna's death.
That's all the footage I wanted to show you. I've looked at it carefully, and I think it has something to tell us.
You mean who killed Luna, right?
Well, I can't say for sure. This footage makes for pretty shaky evidence, but it does suggest a very likely culprit. Who do you think it is?
I ran over the footage in my head. 0 hours 1 minute, Clover and Luna enter the room. For 9 minutes, Clover aggressively questions Luna. 0 hours 10 minutes, they both move out of frame. 11 minutes 40 seconds, Clover exits the room. 12 minutes, Dio enters the room. Dio also immediately exits the frame. It seems likely that Dio was up to no good during this period. 13 minutes, Dio exits the room. 13 minutes 10 seconds, Kay enters the room. Kay also disappears from the camera's field of view. At this point, there are 60 minutes where nothing happens. 29 minutes, Kay enters the frame. He looks at his bracelet. It says 21 minutes, the remaining time until the primary doors open. There seems to be only one conclusion. The person who killed Luna is... Clover.
What makes you think so? Luna could still have been alive after Clover left the room. Dio and Kay both went into the room after Clover. Either of them could have killed Luna too.
That footage alone isn't enough to tell us who the killer is. But if we take one other thing into account, then the case against Clover gets a lot stronger.
And what is that, Ellen?
Dio's behavior at the White Doors. Kay wanted us to enter the White Doors. I told him I wouldn't leave 3 people to die. Do you remember what Dio said?
Use your fucking head for once. You're gonna get us killed.
He obviously knew that only you and I would be going through the door. Do you get it?
Yeah. He knew he had Luna's bracelet, which means he also knew Luna was dead. Is that what you're getting at?
Exactly. If he didn't know she was dead, he would never have said that. The moment Kay suggested we go through the doors, he would have brought it up. That's impossible. How are they supposed to get through without Luna? But he didn't even mention her. Like he didn't expect her to be there. Why would he do that? I can only think of two reasons. One, that when Dio entered that room, Luna was already dead, or two, he killed Luna himself. The second one doesn't seem likely though. If Dio had killed Luna, he probably would have made a point to hide that. I'm guessing he probably would have asked where she was. Where is Luna? Sigma and Phi won't be able to get through the white doors without her. He seemed like the kind of guy who'd go out of his way to feign ignorance of a crime he committed. In this case though, he said nothing. That doesn't clear him, of course, but it does make it a lot less likely that he's the killer. If he wasn't the killer, then we're left with only one other option.
When Dio entered the room, Luna was already dead.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Interesting. That's pretty much what I thought too, and it does seem like Clover had a motive.
You mean what Alice noticed?
Yes. The movement of the AB rooms convinced Alice that Luna had killed the old woman. Once Clover realized that, she probably started to think that Luna had killed Alice to keep her from telling anyone else the truth. She probably led Luna to the crew quarters to confront her. Maybe she hoped seeing Alice's corpse would cause Luna to confess. Maybe she knew something we don't. But Clover didn't get what she wanted. Luna didn't confess. Then, during her interrogation, something happened. It's hard to say what. Luna might have said something that set Clover off, or maybe she admitted to a crime she didn't commit just to get Clover to stop. Whatever it was, something happened that drove Clover to murder.
When did Clover get the injection gun?
I would guess after she went through the yellow door, she would have been exploring the infirmary with Alice and Kay. That seems the most likely place to find it. Anyway, this is all just a theory, right? We don't have any proof, so keep it quiet, okay?
Yeah, I know. Oh, there was one last thing. Was there any other footage that showed anything?
No, nothing to tell us where Clover, Tenmyoji, and Quark went, and nothing about the old woman or Alice's murders either.
So Zero Senior's identity...
Still unknown.
Okay. Well, let's go find Clover. I guess we're not going to know the truth until we get it straight from the horse's mouth.
I wonder if Clover's even alive.
She is. She has to be.
I sure hope so.
Taking the elevator up to warehouse A. Is disguising a loading screen? It very may well be. I had another verse in my head about it's gotta backtrack through places we've already seen, but it's taken just a little too long for me to work it out, so I just dropped it. No more verses. Besides, we're already back. No one's here.
Yeah. Alright, let's start looking. We'll go through the crew quarters and work our way toward the elevator.
Wouldn't it be easier to just bring everybody here by opening the AB doors?
Got it?
Yeah. Crew quarters.
You search rooms 1 and 2. I'll take 3 and 4.
Got it. Dun, 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 dun. Alice. Luna. The most horrible thing about death is how it turns a person into a thing. It's a thing that looks just like your friend, but it's not them anymore. Just this strange, cold shell. And every time you look at it, you feel a little of that coldness creeping in around the edges of your soul. Seeing death puts a heavy ball of lead in your stomach that just sits there, poisoning you. I turned and left the room.
No good. There's no one in 3 or 4. What about yours?
Same. Nobody in them. Except Alice and Luna. The lead ball pressed against the inside of my abdomen. I leaned back against the wall and let out a long, weary sigh.
What's wrong? You need to get it together. What are we doing right now?
Looking for the others.
Right. I know how you feel, but sitting around being miserable isn't going to help anybody. Let's go.
Yeah, you're right. If I turned and headed for the door at the far end, I heaved myself up off the wall and followed. The music stopped, so we must find something interesting here. Well, that's pretty interesting. First thing I felt was that strange cold sweat of terror. My stomach clenched in protest, pushing a wave of bile and nausea up into my throat. The lead ball turned to ice and my legs began to tremble under its weight before they finally gave way and collapsed. They were dead. I could feel it the moment I looked at them, but I didn't want to believe it. They couldn't be dead. Perhaps they were just sleeping? The cool, limp feel of their skin under my shaking fingers dashed any hope I had left. I wrapped a trembling hand around the end of the bed and hauled myself up onto it. Even when I closed my eyes, I could still see them. My heart hammered away at my ribs and my chest felt so tight I could barely breathe. I forced myself to take long, deep breaths. Finally, I opened my eyes.
They were in a blind spot.
What?
The security camera. Remember how we didn't see anything in the real-time feed in the security room?
Yeah. I guess the partition was in the way.
Yeah.
They're handcuffed together.
Yeah. Whoever did this really didn't want them going anywhere. The chain's been looped around the pipe below the sink.
They would have been trapped here when the doors closed. Why?
Look. See the red marks on their wrists? They were trying to get the handcuffs off.
So you're saying it wasn't one of them that did this?
Probably not.
There's a cut on Tenmyoji's left hand. It looks like it's probably from a knife or something similar. Must have been deep.
And the blood on his clothes probably came from that wound. Don't see any others, at least. If this was the only one, it doesn't look fatal. I don't think he died from this cut.
The penalty. When the primary doors closed, they couldn't get to them. The needles in their bracelets activated
Yeah. You can see the marks on their wrists from where they were injected. The tubacurine must have killed them.
Do you think that's why they were handcuffed to the sink?
They wouldn't have been able to get through the white doors without Quark. Someone wanted to use the penalty to kill them. They didn't need to tie them up.
Yeah, you got a point. What's
I
wrong?
take back what I just said.
You find something?
Yeah.
If I bent down to pick something up and handed it to me. A cyan bracelet. This was Quark's.
Correct. It has 9 BP, too. There's no mistake.
What's Quark's bracelet doing here? Wait, no, hold on. If Quark's bracelet is here, then that means...
Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off.
No. This can't be happening. Not Quark.
Hey, Sigma. Calm down. Just because his bracelet's off doesn't mean Quark's dead. In
But-
fact, this could be good news. A ray of hope.
Ray of Hope?
Yeah. If Quark still had his bracelet on, then he would have ended up like Tenmyoji and Clover. But he's not wearing it. That means he might have managed to avoid getting injected with tubacurine.
You mean the bracelet came off before the doors closed?
Yeah.
That's impossible. Zero Jr. told us that they only come off when your heart stops, or when you escape.
Maybe he got out then.
Right. He's got 9 BP. Wait, so you're saying he escaped, then came back and left his bracelet here? No, that's impossible too. Zero Jr. said the number 9 door only opens once. Even if he was able to get outside, he couldn't come back in.
Why do you have to be so pessimistic? Have you actually seen Quark dead? Huh? You need to think positive, Sigma. Reality is what we believe it to be.
Really? So you're just saying this is what we wanted to happen?
That's enough! Quark is definitely alive. He has to be. He has to be. I refuse to believe he isn't. I can't let an innocent kid like that get killed.
I wanted to ask if she meant Clover and Tenmyoji weren't innocent and had deserved to die, but swallowed my words. Fighting wasn't going to help us. All I could do was hope that Phi was right. Perhaps Quark was still alive. What are you doing?
Examining their bodies. Tenmyoji first.
Why?
Clues.
What kind of
To
clues?
who might have killed them. Finding Quark's bracelet tells us something. If the killer saw it, that would make for an obvious motive.
With Quark's bracelet, Clover and Tenmyoji would have been able to go through the white doors. The killer handcuffed them to the sink to prevent that.
Right. That's my guess, at least. That's odd.
What's
I
wrong?
can't find anything.
Huh?
I should have found something.
What?
You remember when we ran into Tenmyoji in the rec room? He sprayed our wrists with luminol. I'm sure I saw him pull the spray bottle out of his pocket.
And now you can't find it.
Right.
Do you think the killer took it?
I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at Clover, too. Give me a minute.
Phi knelt down next to Clover as she spoke and began to gingerly examine her corpse. Then, after a moment, I saw her hand stop.
Look, see your thigh? Doesn't it look like there's something written there?
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, I'll have to move your leg a little bit.
It's written in blood. It must be Tenmyoji's.
It says 016.
What does that
Hang
mean?
on. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. 016. 016. I know I've seen it somewhere. It's no use. Can't remember.
Don't get my hopes up like that.
Anyway, these numbers have to have something to do with the killer. She must have written them after she got hit with a soparil. There would have been a few minutes before she went all the way under when she could have done something. I think she probably used those last minutes to tell the rest of us who killed her.
016, huh? Maybe, but the only people who could have done it are Kay and Dio. Assuming it wasn't one of us, I mean.
No, there's also Quark. I mean, I'm not saying he did it, just...
You know, 016 kinda looks like Dio's name. Like what? Oh, I haven't been reading Sigma's lines. Damn it, this is hopeless. I can't keep up anymore. Everything here is a goddamn mystery. Like what about that old woman we found? Who killed her? The moment of the AB room makes Luna seem the most suspicious, but when would she have done it? And we don't have a good explanation for why she would have wrapped the knife up in the handkerchief. And of course, now Luna's dead too, so who could have killed her? The footage from the security camera paired with Dio's behavior makes Clover seem like the most likely suspect, but now we'll never know for sure. Alice's killer is a complete mystery. We don't know what the hell 016 is supposed to mean. We don't have any idea where Quark's gone. What the hell does any of this mean? Who killed everyone? Was it Zero? Zero Senior? And who is Zero Senior? What the hell does he want? Why does this game even exist? Why did they kidnap us and bring us here? While we're at it, where is this? When is this? Mysteries. 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 I feel like my head's about to explode. Please, Phi, give me something, anything. A clue, a hint. Come on, you gotta have something.
The luminol.
Huh?
I think there's a very good chance someone took the spray bottle out of Tenmyoji's pocket.
Okay, but how is that important?
Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think they took it?
So they could test for blood.
What would they need to do in order to do that?
They just need to spray the bottle at whatever they want to test.
That's it?
No, wait, you're right. Luminol reacts with organic compounds and glows, but the glow is really faint, so... so you need to make it dark. You have to turn off the lights in order to see if anything's glowing.
That would mean?
That would mean... the rec room! Vi and I raced for the door. We weren't sure what we'd find, but we knew where we were going. I had a feeling deep in my gut that whatever we found would be the breakthrough I'd been looking for. God, this loading takes forever. Like, actually, holy shit.